Hey folks, it's a Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Peter. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, review, a tier list, or re-review, or reaction, or whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, which is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And I could be raging and streaming and saying, fuck this, which I probably will, but this is what I expected. I don't know, people say, well, you don't like anything. You don't like anything. I like Creed 3. I was surprised by Creed 3. I thought Creed 3 I would hate. I actually ended up liking Creed 3 a lot. I like the new Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, it was a 90-minute commercial for its future films, but I thought it was fun. It was colorful. It was fast-paced. I like Missing, which is kind of a sequel to Searching. I like that movie. I did not even hate A Knock at the Cabin. So there are films I like. But I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat shit. And to be honest, this year of horror has been dog crap. And shit. And what do we got? Megan? Oh great, have a beat for beat complete ripoff of the Child's Play remake. All you did a fucking doll doing a dance like Britney Spears. For the fucking TikTok generation. One of the dumbest things I've seen this year. The fucking doll doing a fucking Britney Spears moves. And a tame as hell movie. Might as well be rated PG. For pussy ass garbage. Stream 6 did nothing that unique. Terrible, boring ass characters. Probably got rid of all the legacy characters. Never Campbell even said, fuck this, I'm not doing it. Cody Cox has to fight the Botox. And you killed off David Arquette. So, fuck the movie. Stupid, dumbass finale. I already reviewed that. I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen that movie, but it was a dumbass finale that if you think about it for 5 minutes, doesn't make sense at all. Skinnamarink? If you like to watch a wall, or a wall socket, or a shelf, or the carpet for 90 minutes, there's your movie. And this shit. You know, I said when the trailer came out, I asked the question, where's the creativity? I still have no answer for that. Where the fuck is the creativity? Where's the ingenuity? Because that's what Evil Dead was. Evil Dead had gore in it. Except Army of Darkness. But you had an interesting lead character. You had creativity oozing out of his pores. Oozing out of every fiber of his body. Which this does not have. This was a dull, boring as shit affair. With a dull, boring as shit. Actors, characters, dumbass dialogue. It has some gore. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So does fucking traces of death, but it's real gore. Doesn't mean I want to watch the shit. You have a lead character who's one note boring. She reminds me of Rooney Mara from Nightmare on Elm Street remake. She has the same monotone tone to her voice. Maybe if she did taxes, she would get more excited or something. You take an idea of a high-rise building and you do nothing with it because most of the goddamn movie is in one apartment. A little bit of a hallway, a little bit of an elevator, and a little bit of a garage. What the fuck's the point of a goddamn huge high-rise building if 98% of it you don't fucking use? You don't use the roof, you don't use outside the windows. How the fuck do you have an Evil Dead movie in a high-rise building and not one goddamn bit is there anything involving height, falling, anything in between of the outside windows? So much that was not used. This might take place in a fucking trailer park. Right by the... It might be in a trailer park. I guess you wouldn't have the elevator. Ooh. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So you'd have your rip-off of The Shining. My problem with the film is that when you watch the film, you sit there and you go, I know why they did this, for money. Because it made money. It made like $60 million in the US. It made over $130 million worldwide. It made more money than Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Than a big-budget superhero movie. So it was a huge hit. Probably will get a sequel, I would assume. Because these films didn't cost that much to make. And people got what they wanted. More nostalgia. It's not nostalgia. No. The fucking lead character literally says, come get some. With a goddamn shotgun. She literally says, come get... Oh, I'm sorry. What's with the shot? Did she say with a shotgun? Yeah, she said with a shotgun, come get some. Literally. There's literally a scene with an eyeball flying out and going to a motherfucker's mouth. Like Evil Dead 2. The characters, the family, it's just so uninteresting. And it just feels like a generic demonic possession movie where there's been like 80 fucking 5 of them in the past 5 years, ever since The Conjuring and Insidious and all these other movies. It felt like just a generic version of that. You know what I remember in Evil Dead? I remember the gore. I also remember stuff like Ash putting his hand into a mirror but turned into water. Blood coming out of the light bulb and filling up the projector screen, and the third act smorgasbord of editing and shot work, photography work, where Ash, the camera's on his foot, he turns and then it cuts to another scene where it's up close to his face. He turns, and then the camera turns with him. It's on top, and each time it goes over, as we're looking down on Ash, through a board, boom, 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 boom. There's a tour de force of directing insane, quirky camera angles and shots that made the cabin feel alive. As if the whole cabin was watching from underneath and up top and everywhere. Which is not the case you get from this. Evil Dead 2, all the animals and lampshades laughing at him. It felt like the whole place was evil and after him. Not to mention all the work in Army of Darkness. The eyeball coming out of his shoulder, and I'm badass, you good ass. The little fuckers trying to do a Gulliver's Travels on him, and the skeletons, and the 3 books. Which is that why there's 3 books in this? I thought in that one it was a gag in Army of Darkness. To trick them to not get the right book. Not that there's actually 3 fucking books, because apparently there's 3 books now. And if this relates to the actual Evil Dead, it doesn't really say if it relates to the 2013 film, which I wasn't a fan of that movie either. I thought that film sucked too. Does that film have the same problem as this? They're both boring, in one ear out the other, forgettable movies that is only banking on his gore. That's all it did. The Evil Dead 2013 film did that, and this didn't. These 2 films think Evil Dead is only about gore, and as long as you get gore, then it sells the fuck to store. No, that's not the war that sells the fuck to store. Okay, this ain't Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper. They ain't no Mr. fucking T. Okay, there's no Cyndi Lauper. Evil Dead was not just about gore. Even the first film, Ash was an interesting character. To me, he was. Maybe not to you. In the first Evil Dead, he was shit. To you. To me, he was. And there's reason why he became a god to be utilized throughout the 80s. Evil Dead 2 became even more so. Evil Dead 1, he was the typical guy in a crazy situation, always did bad luck. He became the actual Ash that we think of in Evil Dead until Evil Dead 2. I'll give you that, to be fair. But I liked him in the first movie as well. Here, didn't like anybody. Didn't give a shit about anybody. Maybe the little girl did the best she could what she was given. The little girl. But everybody else, fuck them. Evil Dead 2013 did not give a shit about the lead girl. Didn't give a shit about her fucking drug problem that they did nothing with. So that was all pointless to build that up. Because it accomplished nothing. You have the... Again, shit that just remind you of the first. In the cellar. Someone cutting their fucking hand off. Someone tied down. Chainsaw. I saw this shit in the Evil Dead trilogy. I was just gonna watch that fucking movie. This, to be fair, I guess it's at least a little bit different being in a high-rise building. But then, again, you take the high-rise building and you do nothing with that fucking building. Even Demons 2 did more with the fucking building. Why is it that so many goddamn horror movies that take place in high-rise buildings suck? Dark Tower, Michael Moriarty, Poltergeist 3... I mean, fucking Gremlins 2 and Critters 3 are probably the best. Because technically Gremlins 2 takes place in a high-rise building in the city. I'd rather watch Critters fucking 3 than this movie. So the end spoilers, we start with a POV. Thank God that a movie that takes place in a high-rise building starts off at a cabin, not even a cabin, but by a lake. Because think of Evil Dead Rise, high-rise building, the first image I think of is a lake. And we have a POV shot, but it's a drone shot. Literally someone's drone. Good. This guy's a douchebag, he's shoving up his ass and have the propeller hit his taint. And then there's a house nearby, but the house has a pointy end. Looks like maybe Paul Bunyan's dildo he'll sit on. His butt plug. So there you have two outside, one goes in. The third member of this party is sick in there. And then she wakes up. She stelps the other lady. I will say the lady does a good job moving around for a person that's been scalped. Like, she gets fucking... and her brain is showing. She's able to move on and keep going on for a while. So, I guess scalping isn't as bad as you would think. You have dialogue, like calling people brainless meat puppets. They spit up a lot of fucking Alka-Seltzer. The one guy gets pulled into... He goes to the water. His head gets thrown up top. The lady rises up because Evil Dead Rise. And you wonder what the fuck this has to do with the movie? Well, nothing other than... Most of the events takes place one day earlier. At the very, 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 very end of the film, the person at the beginning that was possessed comes into this garage and she gets possessed. You could take the very beginning and very ending out of the movie and wouldn't do a goddamn thing. They're like, we know this is going to be pretty fucking boring. It's going to take like 30-40 minutes for anything to fucking happen. So we're going to give you this shit at the very beginning. Was felt like more like a slasher mentality than an Evil Dead mentality, but that's just me. The thing is, it didn't do anything. The very beginning, the very end don't mean shit. Not to the story. You don't give a shit about the characters. You did see a little bit of gore. Cool. Cool story, bro. Tell it again. So then we get to our lead lady. The first fucking scene is her pissing. Because she's pregnant. Now, her being pregnant, does this play a big deal? Not really. Once in a while her stomach hurts. What I thought they were going to do something crazy, like somehow the baby, like maybe it's after a while and she's been pregnant for a while, and like the baby becomes a deadite. That'd be pretty fucking crazy. The baby becomes a deadite and do something, or something to the effect. No, it's just at one point the lead deadite tries to get her, and the little girl helps her. That's like the only time the pregnancy comes into play. Otherwise, there's really no other fun. Or maybe it's going to come to a character point of she's not sure she's going to be a mother. She don't know if she'll be a good mother at all. But then by protecting one of these kids at least, it shows that she has good maternal instincts. That she could be a good mother. No, that doesn't come into play, and if it did, they did a shit job building that up. In terms of dialogue, in terms of character development, there's a lack of that. I have to assume that to make something worth a fuck with the story. So she's pregnant, she's a groupie, and she goes to see her sister. Her sister has 3 kids. She has a little girl. She has an older daughter. I thought the third person was a daughter, but it's a guy, but that's because it's played by a transgender actor. Whoop-dee. They don't do anything like woke with it. It just happens to be someone transgender. Okay. I just don't find any of those characters interesting, though. They're not interesting. They're not really that likable. They're just rather fucking dull. The neighbors are much better. I have a high-rise building. They show how fucking tall. All the marketing. I'm going to have the marketing right here. They show how tall this fucking building is. So fucking what? It's one apartment, a little bit of a hallway, an elevator, and the parking garage. That's it. The apartment with all the people, you see maybe, 4 other people. I'm trying to think. You have one guy who's religious. Of course he is. Gotta have someone who is ethnic and religious, because I guess if you're really ethnic, that means you're really religious. It's like that fucking guy in that, what was that elevator movie M. Night wrote, or had a hand in Devil. Surprised he didn't say if the fucking jelly side down, whatever the fuck line that was. But you have one guy who's got a shotgun. I think you have 2 younger ones, because one says, we don't watch the Freddy movies, and the other says that even the shitty ones. And then the one guy goes, there are no shitty ones. There are. It's called Part 5. And it's called The Remake. The rest I actually really like. So the lead, why are there so many lead, whether it be characters of today, actors and actresses today, they feel that if they give a monotone performance like this, and if they talk like this, then that means they're a great character. You know, they're talking so monotone. Why is that the case nowadays? Just explain to me. Please do. What is I'm supposed to like about these kids? The little girl, she wasn't annoying. She's very young. She did the best that she could. Which I'm like, oh, a little girl in a horror high-rise movie. Great. Maybe think of Poltergeist 3. But it just dumbfounds me. You have this high-rise building. Imagine. How about the Raid Redemption of Evil Dead movies? I want to see that movie. How about this? You bring in Ash, Bruce Campbell. I know you said you retired. Fuck that. You come back in and do the Raid Redemption of Evil Dead movies. You're at the bottom. Yeah, get to the top. Because the top is where the Book of the Dead is. And each level is you tearing apart, shotgun, chainsaw. Maybe this is like Elevator from Hell. This level is different types of deadites, different types of events. This whole hallway, it's like that fucking level in Splatterhouse. All the material fucking try to attack you, and they're laughing at you, and you're laughing at them, you slashing it up. I want the Raid Redemption of Evil Dead movies. Ash going level by level, each one is something different. Maybe have this one's is different monsters of deadites, this one is regular deadites, this one is all the furniture and shit trying to grab you, this one is something even more crazier. I want to see that fucking movie. Can I see that fucking movie? Can I see more than... Can we have 2 hallways? Can we have 2 floors of deadites? Or 3? Or 4? You barely have 1. Most of the fucking movie is 1 goddamn deadite. Most of the fucking movie. Well, back in... That was the 80s, and they had a much lower budget, and you're not marketing a goddamn high-rise building as part of your... It's part of the fucking title. You do nothing with it. And again, where's the creativity? Where's the goddamn creativity in any of this shit? In this fucking movie? Please educate me. It's a bunch of bullshit drama. Barely, not even drama, just... My husband left me. Why did you tell me? I did try to call you. And then nothing really built up of that. They think as if we mention it, that's our character development. No, just mention it, don't do shit. Mention it is not developing it. So the kids are sent off to get pizza, they come back, and there's an earthquake. I think I saw, they showed a TV, so I think this takes place in, I think, California? Don't quote me on that. And they're in the parking garage and the floor breaks up. Now, one of the 3 kids, I'm going to call him Dumbass, because he's a dumbass. Mr. Dumbass, or Miss whatever, Dumbass, that's the pronoun, decides to go down the hole that opened up in the earthquake, because that's, nothing bad could happen from that. Climbs down. The little girl says, I think I peed my pants. Is it warm? You probably didn't pee your pants. I'm sorry, little girl. If you don't know if you peed your pants or not, you got other problems. Maybe you need to go back to diapers. Because I don't care how young you are. If you don't know if you peed your pants or not, you can't tell the difference, there's an issue. But anyway, not her, but Dumbass goes down, and there's an old bank vault, apparently, underneath this high-rise. And in this bank vault, there's letters, there's vinyl records, and there is like a, what do you call it, with a bunch of crosses on it. Why are there crosses? Is it fucking vampires now? We don't deal with vampires? Because crosses don't work with deadites and Book of the Dead, but I guess, hey, it was priests who kept this up, so they have like 100 crosses. Not that that does shit. Oh, you have a jump scare with Jesus. Never thought Jesus would be used as a jump scare, but like a big statue thing of the cross, Jesus comes, like Jesus. I'm like, you're right, that is Jesus. So Dumbass takes the book, and they go back up, and Dumbass plays the record, opens up the book. This book has like teeth on the side, and apparently there's 3 books. Okay, now there's 3 books. Well, this can't take place in the Ash Evil Dead world, because you would think in those 3 movies, and even that TV show, there'd be a mention that there were 3 fucking books. The only 3 books was in Army of Darkness, and that was a trick to Ash, to pick the right one. It's not even the first time a fucking book had teeth. One of them bit Ash and bit the shit out of him and bit his hand in Army of Darkness. I guess they had to fight the barbed wire shit in Evil Dead 2013. Which I'm sorry, I know people like that film. I think that film fucking sucks. I don't see what's worthwhile about that goddamn movie. It's like, oh, here's the trees assaulting the girl again. Here's the girl in the cellar trying to look like a deadite again. Here's someone cutting out their hand off again. Rinse, repeat, regurgitation. What is so good about that fucking movie? Take gore out of the reasoning. I want someone to tell me what's good about this film or what's good about Evil Dead 2013, but you cannot mention gore. That's a challenge to people. If you love it, cool, teach their own. We agree to disagree. But I'm just saying, talk about that film and talk about this film, but you cannot mention gore. If you mention gore, you forfeit. Because I could talk about the Evil Dead films and why I enjoy them without mentioning gore. This shows the importance of what Bruce Campbell brought to this franchise. Just think about it. Bruce Campbell is like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger of those other franchises. And how many people said, you can't make a Halloween movie without Michael Myers? You can't make a Friday the 13th movie without Jason Voorhees? Halloween 3 I like. And that only had Michael Myers on the TV that was playing Halloween. On Halloween. Technically Jason was not in... Well, actually he was in Friday the 13th Part 5. He was just in dream sequences. I mean, as a boy he was in the first film technically at the end. But how many times have you heard that? You can't make a Friday the 13th film without Jason. You can't make a Michael Myers out with Halloween. Maybe this is one of those things. You can't make an Evil Dead film without Ash. Because Ash is what made Evil Dead Evil Dead. And when you take that out, it's not the same. And it shouldn't... Ash is Evil Dead. That's what it's come to realize after 2 fucking attempts. Ash is Evil Dead. Evil Dead is Ash. Well, you don't have Ash. You don't have Evil Dead. You have another generic, lame... A generic, lame, boring, demonic possession movie. After 2 fucking instances of this, that's my realization. You need Ash with Evil Dead. Because this shit doesn't work. You also need, again, I keep repeating this, you need creativity with it as well. So, Dumbass plays the record, and it invokes the verbiage of the Book of the Dead. And the mom is in an elevator, and she gets attacked almost the same fucking way as the trees did in the Evil Dead remake, or the trees in the original Evil Dead, except no cables go up her cooch. But the elevator, the cables grab her arms, just like the trees grabbed Cheryl's arms in the first fucking Evil Dead film, or that girl in the Evil Dead remake did. The same fucking shit. The same fucking shit. All his elevator cables now instead of trees. She comes in, and people love to stare. They love to do this. Take a drink every time someone just fucking stares at someone without doing anything. You tell something's off. Hell, the mom who's now possessed walks to the fucking stove and just throwing eggs, and they don't notice that her ankles are bleeding. They don't notice any of this shit. It's like, hey, what's up? How's it going? When she turns around, she looks like she got fit through the meat grinder. No one's like, grab her, hold her, take her somewhere. No. They just fucking watch. They love to watch, and they love to watch, and they love to watch. And then she pukes up a lot of cum, because that's what it fucking looked like. It looked like a cum guzzler. letting her load out. It was a lot of milk coming out of her fucking mouth. To be fair, I think in the original Evil Dead, they did put a bit of white stuff as well, to be fair. But here it just looked more like cum. Now the stairs have collapsed, the elevator is fucked, the phones can't work because of the earthquake, among other stuff. So they don't know what to do. The mom is alive, saying stupid lines like, "Mommy's with the maggots now." She shrieks, goes up on the ceiling, and the same typical shit you've seen in so many possession movies. Like going to a corner, just like I saw in a crappy direct-to-video film a year or so ago called Pray for the Devil. Or any amount of Conjuring, any amount of those movies. And did people love to fucking stare? And by this point, they're with the neighbors. I love that she grabs one of the neighbors and no one tries to help the neighbor. No one tries to help the neighbor at all. No one tries to knock him down, grab her, nothing. Like, fuck, oh, well, it ain't me, so fuck it. Let him die. And that's where you get these fucking references. Like, the guy's eye, there's a pop out and it flies into a guy's mouth, just like in Evil Dead 2. Looking through a peephole and you see that she, like, throws someone has a shotgun, kills that person. Looks through the peephole. Wounds one of the kids, the older daughter. I do find it strange that the one girl gets wounded on the eye. She turns. But the lead gets stabbed in the fucking hand with scissors. But she doesn't turn. Why is it that one turns but the other doesn't turn? Because I swear, the way she wounds the older daughter, I think it's like with a tattoo thing. And cuts her a little bit on the cheek. But then, before that, the lead got a fucking scissors right in her hand. So again, why is it that the one girl turns, but not the lead girl turning? I don't fucking know. You explain that to me. And by the way, we're over halfway through the film. We're over halfway through the fucking film. Because like I said, it feels like not a lot happens. Here's these characters. I don't know why you would give a shit about them. Why you would give a shit about the lead. There's nothing that interesting about her backstory. She's not given much of a performance. It's not charming, humorous like Ash. It's not determined, tough, strong. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. The mom turns, kills a couple people outside. Half of it you don't see because it's through a peephole. And the couple people, like literally like a handful of people. The little girl sees her mom in the peephole, and she looks like again she's been put through a meat grinder and come out the other way. Hey, the dad's out here. Come out. And the little girl must have like no brain cells. She's too fucking stupid to go to school, I guess. Her brain cells must have diluted or fried or something. Maybe they're on vacation. Can her brain cells come back from vacation? Or her brain cells on the magic school bus? Can the school bus come back and deliver her with the groceries? Deliver her some brain cells. This girl don't have any brain cells. Because she opens the fucking door. She just grabbed. And they save her. I'm like, no, let her get pulled out. She's too fucking stupid to live. It's a character. It's a fictional character in a movie, folks. Calm down. She's too fucking stupid to live. Let her go. So the older daughter turns and she's eating glass. Did the stop my tummy? Yeah, it's called a fist. In your. So she goes crazy. She gets stabbed in the mouth. She pulls it out, collapses. Gets back up, stabs dumbass. Dumbass is able to get some fire to burn the older sister, or the other sister. That dumbass dies of their wounds. So now it's the lead, the little girl, and the mom. The mom got into this ventilation shaft. So she does a John McClane Die Hard, I guess. Goes into the room. I'm gonna take that baby out of your stomach. The little girl gives the lead scissors. The lead stabs the mom with the scissors. They leave. Violet grabs the shotgun. Shoots a few limbs off the mom. They get in the elevator. And then the deadites, the few there are, decide to become the Thing. They decide to become John Carver's The Thing. Again, like, this is the most creative they are, is to rip off other movies. Either to homage scenes from the original films. Because yes, when they get to the garage, she does say, "Come get some," like Ash did. Or the eyeball scene I mentioned. Or let's rip off John Carpenter's The Thing. I have a creature move around like John Carpenter's The fucking Thing. I give credit as practical as that The Thing 2011 CGI shit. I'll give credit to that. People say I'm not fair. I give credit to that. But goddamn, like, that's the most creative you got? Really? Or let's rip off The Shining and have a bloody elevator. And opens up and blood flows out of the elevator. Where's Jack Nicholson with an axe so he could get rid of everybody in the movie? So in the parking garage, they try to get out. The little girl gets grabbed in. The lead gets back in. Come get some with the shotgun. Thank God this parking garage has a chainsaw and a wood chipper grinder thing. Why the fuck that's there, I have no idea. I know I haven't been to many high-rise apartment buildings, but I don't know how many of them have this fucking thing in the goddamn parking garage. And a chainsaw. But we need a chainsaw to his Evil Dead. We need a shotgun to his Evil Dead. And again, let's happen to have this wood chipper thing. Because I keep calling it wood chipper. I don't know the exact term of that vehicle. Pushes in, it grinds up. I saw that shit done better in Stephen King's Graveyard Shift from 1990. Where the creature just grinded up. I saw that in the 1990 Graveyard Shift. Then the most creative you get is a creature that's like a rip-off of The Thing. My God, man. And on a side note, I want to say I'm pissed off at the MPAA. I'm pissed off at their fucking hypocrisy. I'm fine with them not messing with movies today. But back in the day, there'd be films that had a tenth of the blood in this movie. And they would go, nope, sorry, you're not getting in theaters. You gotta cut all the shit out. So whether it be like Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Hard Target, Cliff, all these films they fucking honed in on. Cut shit out, cut shit out, cut shit out. And gave so much headaches to people. Then you looked at this film and what they're able to get away with. What the fuck? MPA? I'm glad you're not cutting people's balls off. Why the fuck weren't you that way back in the 80s and 90s? You fucking hacks. It's just hilarious. Like, you look at the shit that's people of today. Why the fuck weren't you like that in the 80s? Why the fuck weren't you like that in the 90s? You hypocritical fucks. So fuck the American Puto Association of Assholes. Americans, all of them. Fuck them all. American Puto Association of Assholes. Fuck them and all their holes. So they leave, and I don't know why this made me laugh, but the lead is tearing the chainsaw with her. I'm like, what you don't do with that chainsaw? You walk out of the garage. What do you do with that chainsaw? Like, I guess for her in case anything else happens, but you're walking out of the garage. You don't think some people would cops be like, "That chainsaw, put that shit down." She's just tearing the chainsaw just because. Oh my god, man. And then one of the neighbors comes out, goes down the garage, notices something's up, and that's the girl that gets possessed, and then goes back to the beginning of the movie. Which, why did you even need that? I guess maybe they set up a sequel so that girl's possessed and at the lake. So what? Is Jason Voorhees don't come in on that lake? There was a Book of the Dead and Jason Goes to Hell, so maybe they don't link that full circle. I don't fucking know. The characters suck. The lead lady is boring, one note, monotone. The older kids, one's a dumbass, the other is nothing to say about her. The little girl is trying, but they give her dumbass shit to do script-wise. Not a whole lot fucking happens for a good chunk of the movie that you haven't seen in 50 other fucking horror films and demonic possession films. Where's the creativity? Where's the ingenuity? Where's the, oh wow, that was neat. Oh wow, I didn't see that coming. It's predictable. What is so good about the fucking movie? Gore is well done. But I said before, music-wise, what's good about the music? What's good about the score? Camera work. At one point you have the force coming in before the mom dispossesses the elevator. Or when the record's playing, there's some up-close little tilted shots. But other than that, the camera work just gets forgotten about. Especially in the second half of the movie. It's shot like any other film. Nothing special, nothing unique. They figure as long as you got a lot of blood, then that's all that matters. And I'm like, no, there's more to it than that. I thought there was, but apparently not. Apparently not. I literally just threw my hands up when they literally gave her the "come get some" line. I'm like, yep, that's what I'm talking about, where there's no fucking creativity anymore in these goddamn movies. You literally have to steal the fucking line from back in the fucking day, man. But they do that all the time. They did that in Halloween 2018. They did that in so many of these other fucking sequels. Because, hey, you remember this? You remember this? Yeah, I fucking remember it because I got the goddamn movie right here on my fucking shelf. I just rewatched that to see the same shit. Only done more boring. What's so fucking special about the goddamn movie? Please educate me. People doing dumb shit. People boring as shit. Not utilizing your fucking location. Having a high-rise building that might as well be And most, if you take out the elevator bit, it could be fucking anywhere. Really? It taking place in the city didn't matter. It taking place with all those fucking floors of the building didn't fucking matter. Not one goddamn bit. So what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? The point is to use a name, to make money, and it succeeded. And people give it high praise. What's it have on IMDb? Curious. Evil Dead. And like I said, I don't like the 2013 film either. I think they both have the same fucking problems. Boring leads, boring stories, no creativity, no ingenuity. They feel that gore is the only substitute and the only thing to make them worth a shit. 6.8 out of 10, kiss my ass. This ain't worth that. It's bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Wonder what the other Evil Dead films did. Evil Dead 1, 7.4. Evil Dead 2, 7.7. So they do get higher ratings. Because what is Army of Darkness? Army of Darkness doesn't have gore, and that's a damn good movie. It actually has a fun lead character and fucking creativity. 7.4, so okay. Evil Dead Remake actually has a lower rating than this. From 2013, there you go. 6.5. Still think that's too fucking high. I should be glad this doesn't take place in yet another cabin in the woods. So I guess at least that makes it somewhat more different than the 2013 remake. But goddamn, man. Like, if that's all you got, and you still don't use much for that fucking location, ain't worth a piss up a rope. This is generic. It was by the numbers. Again, feel free to educate me what's so good about the movie. Again, you cannot use gore. Can't use gore. Other than that, what? What's so good about the lead character? About her performance, which is monotone as shit. What was so great about the kids? What was so great about the one deadite given stupid, inane dialogue that wasn't funny, wasn't scary, wasn't intense, wasn't suspenseful, wasn't fun? Doesn't have that charm. Where's the fun? Where's the creativity? People don't need that. People don't want it. I think that's a shame. I think that's a fucking shame. Guess that's just me, though. Fuck it. Later.